was finally able to bring all her art back home. She has officially bought back all her masters, her music videos, tour movies, album artwork, and more. So here's everything we know so far. Taylor acquired her masters back from Shamrock Capital in a deal reported to be around $360 million. To celebrate, she posted this on Instagram, redirecting her fans to go to her website where she wrote a full letter about what's going on. So first, let's get into the contents of the letter, and then we will do a breakdown on how much Taylor paid for her masters compared to how much they were sold for previously, or how much other owners, if we can call them that, had acquired them for. So in the letter, obviously she starts off with an introduction telling us that yes, she now officially owns all of her masters. But she also talks about how this has been a wild journey for her, where she almost felt like this was some kind of unattainable dream. Like this is literally her wildest dream. She thanks fans for their passion and what they were able to turn the Eras tour into, as this played a large role in her being able to buy back her masters. She said, "I can't thank you enough for helping to reunite me with this art that I have dedicated my life to, but have never owned until now." She also thanked Shamrock Capital, expressing that even though this was of course a business deal to them, they treated her very respectfully, and they acknowledged the fact that this is just her life's work and really treated her as a person who put her blood, sweat, and tears behind everything here. She even went as far as saying, "My first tattoo might just be a huge shamrock in the middle of my forehead." Oh, but then, she finally says the words that we have all kind of been waiting for her to bring up for a long time. Unfortunately, it's not in the way that we were hoping, but yes, finally we have an answer about Rap TV. And she decided to be fully transparent with us, saying, "Haven't even re-recorded a quarter of it. The Reputation album was so specific to that time in my life, and I kept hitting a stopping point when I try to remake it. To be perfectly honest, it's the one album in the first 6 that I thought couldn't be improved upon by redoing. I kept putting it off." Yes, yikes. For those of us who have been clowning real hard thinking it was gonna drop any minute now, it turns out there will be an explanation and there will be no Reputation. To be honest, a lot of people are talking about how they're not surprised to hear this, given that all those songs are written about Jo Alwyn, and probably she doesn't feel like re-recording those tracks now. But there is a saving grace for us. It seems she is at least playing on the idea of just giving us those vault tracks. I think it goes without saying that all of us would absolutely love this. But she continues, "I've already re-recorded my entire debut album and I really love how it sounds now. Sounds a lot like that might be dropping anytime soon, but let me continue reading. Those 2 albums can still have their moment to re-emerge when the time is right." So obviously she says those 2 albums. So even though she kind of made it sound like Reputation is not coming, she's making it sound here like it will eventually maybe come, so we shouldn't lose all hope. So what do you guys think? I feel like from that first part she does kind of make it sound like there will be no Reputation, maybe just the vault tracks, which would be also something really cool. But on the second half, when she talks about debut, she does say both albums could eventually have their moment in the spotlight. So who knows, I guess she's just gonna keep some of us clowning around to see when that's gonna drop. Maybe we can expect the vault tracks to drop sooner, but she was pretty direct in telling us to stop clowning over rap. With that said, debut is finished, so we can expect that she will drop that at some point. I don't know if before her next studio album, but she said she's happy with how it sounds. So to be fair, if I was her, I would feel kind of strange not releasing like all the re-recordings. Not because I feel like she owes it to us, but I mean like for herself, that it might feel incomplete. Like if you grab a Q-tip and like clean one of your ears and then not do the other one. Do you know what I mean? Like that feeling of like there's something missing, like lacking completion and satisfaction and consistency. I just feel like because of that reason, we could eventually still be getting all these tracks. And maybe right now she doesn't feel like re-recording Reputation because her whole breakup with Jo Alwyn is pretty fresh, but give it a few years and maybe she will be more comfortable with it. Anyway, she finishes off the letter talking about the legacy that she has made for other artists. More and more artists have been telling her that because of her, they're trying to own their masters. So what do you guys think about all of this? I'm really happy for her that she got to acquire her work back. And while it's a little bit upsetting about Rep, those of us who haven't been streaming the OG work for the other albums can finally start streaming that again. So that's also something that we're kind of winning back But now to wrap up this video, let's talk about money. Did she get a good deal on her masters? So let's just go over the history of who has owned Taylor's masters. From 2006 to 2019, Taylor's first 6 studio albums were owned by Big Machine Records. And this was of course founded by Scott Bruschetta. Then in 2019, Ithaca Holdings, which is led by Scooter Braun, acquired Big Machine Records. So this included not just Taylor's catalog, but other artists for about $300 million. And this was the deal that started everything, with Taylor saying that she was not given a fair opportunity to purchase back her masters. Then in November 2020, Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings sold Taylor Swift's masters to Shamrock Capital, which is a private equity firm. Now, I've seen mixed reports about how much they paid for this, but it seems that the estimations are between $300 million and $400 million. Now, obviously, this was a great deal for Scott, because he paid $300 million for the entire acquisition of Big Machine Records, and this was not just Taylor's music, but other artists too. Now, it seems during this time, Shamrock Capital also did reach out to Taylor, offering her the chance to buy the masters back, but she still declined, discovering that Scooter was still somehow involved in something in there. So then she continued to release her re-recordings. Now, flash forward to today. I guess Scooter was fully removed from the picture because, of course, we can see that she got a deal. Given that it's speculated that she paid around $360 million for this deal, I would assume that Shamrock Capital did not pay more than $300 million, or not a lot more, because like she said, this was a business deal for them, so they needed to be making some kind of profit. But if we think about how much Taylor's work was worth when Scooter acquired it, I think it has grown in value like immensely. So I'm glad to see that the figure didn't jump ridiculously either on how much they sold it back to her for. I mean, for her, this was not a business deal. She wasn't trying to make money out of this. She just wanted to get her life's work back where it belonged. So I feel like they could have also just been nasty and tried to squeeze a lot out of her, knowing that for her, it's not about business, but it's her emotional attachment to her work. So I'm just really happy to see that it all worked out, that they treated her fairly, that she's happy with the deal. So it's just really exciting times. So now I really feel like we can expect either debut TV to drop, or maybe her 12th studio album is more likely to drop first before debut. What do you guys think? Anyway, that's basically it for this video. Sorry I've been like super MIA for the last couple months. I'm always hoping I will have more time to make videos, but I kind of struggle to keep it up. But hopefully I will be finishing my Tortured Poets song meaning checklist anytime now, at least for the main part of the album. I'm not sure I will ever get to that second half of the album, seeing as my speed of putting out videos is not very consistent and or fast. But as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!